Thumbcoast TV and WGRT bring you St. Clair County at the Mackinac Policy Conference. Sponsored by the Community Foundation of St. Clair County, Michigan Mutual, and Eastern Michigan Bank.
Welcome back to coverage from the Mackinac Policy Conference. I'm Josh Chapman, joined here by the newly minted President and CEO of the Blue Water Area Chamber. Jorja, how does it feel?
Oh my gosh, Josh, it's amazing. What an opportunity to be part of something that has been so well established for well over 100 years. There have been so many great people involved with the Chamber. So to be able to take the reins today and see where we're going to take it over the next however many years I'm lucky enough to have the position, I'm really excited for.
And clearly you're getting a crash course. You've got to be like day 5, and now you're here on Mackinac trying to advocate for the folks of the Blue Water area.
Right, that's exactly how it is, and trial by fire, right?
Yeah.
So it's time to jump in, and fortunately I've had a really good welcoming support group of people from within the community and outside of the community who are aware, whether it's legislators or people from our state legislative offices that I'm fortunate enough to have built relationships with in the past that now know of the new role.
Yeah.
And so now, moving forward, our conversations look different. The relationship is already built.
Yeah.
Now the conversation, the narrative is changing. Now we're talking about chambers and we're talking about our small businesses and what they need. And because I was a business owner for 5 years, I have that perspective as well to say, here's what hit me the hardest, or here's what my fellow business owners are struggling with today,
and
because I had to close mine.
Jorja, and you said something before we get, because I think it totally makes sense, in my lens as to why you're here and how you can support. But for everybody that might not know kind of the backstory of Jorja Baldwin, can you kind of walk them through and the resume is very diverse, it's very long, but can you tell them kind of what your experience is in both governance and small business and things like that?
Yes, absolutely. Great question, because I really haven't decided what I want to be when I grow up.
Yeah.
Right? And so now that I'm almost 50, I feel like this is a good space to be. But I've been in local government for 30 years.
Okay.
And in 2012, I was elected to a township supervisor role.
Okay.
And in 2019, I was appointed to the county commissioner role to represent District 2. And so, and then I ran for state office. Unfortunately, I was not successful there.
But you've dabbled in all levels,
right?
Of
Hitting the levels of government to understand. And so I feel like the experience has really been boots on the ground. I didn't watch it, I did it.
Yeah.
Or I was a part of it, or I was at the table and I was able to learn everything that I possibly could just absorb from constituents, and those constituents are business owners and their residents, and to hear all of those stories and have that access just gives me the perspective that's not just mine or not just in one room or another. It really allowed me a very diverse background of what people are facing, whether it's what they're talking about sitting around their kitchen table or their boardroom or the back room of their warehouse. I've been able to have those conversations. And so when the chamber opportunity came up, I was really excited when we had a conversation about, is this something you'd be interested in taking on? And I thought, oh my gosh, maybe this is where it was supposed to go, at this point, to kind of have this background that checks a lot of the boxes of the people that I should be representing, because the chamber is not about me.
So you get to finally figure out what you want to do when you grow up.
I'm almost there, Josh. I'm almost there.
Well, I'm not rushing you. So you've done kind of the small business piece. You've got the organizational design experience in terms of governance. Really quick, what are 2 or 3 10,000 feet items you'd like to accomplish or see the chamber position itself to achieve on behalf of its members?
So I think my biggest focus right now is to get to those members and say, in a post-COVID world, what are we missing? What is the piece? Because if we can, if you've got everybody who's around at a table and they've got all these ideas, and you don't have someone to say, I can pick all of that up because I'm going to tap the YMCA for this piece, and I can get with the EDA and I can get with the business network, and we can try and bring all of these parties together, because not one of us is going to fix everything. But all together, we can absolutely do that. So I'm hoping for it to be board of directors and member-led, to say, what are your biggest challenges today, and how do we get to those, and come up with more of a strategic plan at some point. But even this experience up here, so that we can get in front of legislators, and you can get that 5 minutes that it's hard to do when they're in Lansing or Washington, but when you can get them on the porch here and say, here's what my challenges are, how can you help me with this, and start that conversation, then we bring it home and we try to land these things for people. So I don't know if that's going to look like a mix of marketing and education and resources. Traditionally, chambers started to be advocacy and resources for businesses. And I feel like that really is kind of my passion and where I hope to take it, but still has to be member driven. If the members say, Jorja, well, we really need our billboards, then we're gonna have to talk about billboards.
Then billboards it is.
Billboards it is. So I don't know exactly how that looks. So, for chamber members, look for an email from me and probably several, and I hope I won't get too annoying, but we do all need to sit down and we need to have these one-on-ones because it's not going to happen unless we all sit down and come up with a plan.
Yeah. Well, you got big shoes to fill.
I do.
You got it all planned out and figured out. You're on day 5.5. So, Jorja, it's been a pleasure.
Yes,
Good luck
so
on your future endeavors, and I'm sure the chamber is going to be brighter and better in the future.
Thank you so much, Josh. Thanks.
And thank you for joining us at the Policy Conference.
To hear more from this conversation, visit thumbcoast.tv.